Hello guys, this is Mike from McProgramming.org. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about a new way of handling an exception. This is very similar to the try-catch block, which it actually is a try-catch block, but it has one more component to it, and it's the finally clause, which comes right after the last catch clause. But in order for me to make a very good example, I'm going to kind of come off the top of my head with this. I'm going to code something out that where this finally clause might be useful, and also I'm going to show you how you can have multiple catch clauses. So I want to make a private static int numbers array because I plan on having to throw the index or array index out of bounds exception, which is a unchecked exception, but you can handle it if you really want to. So let's say new int, and I'm going to initialize it to be a size 5. So if you start putting stuff in there that is more than 5 elements, it's going to throw that exception. So let's go down into here, and I'm going to actually create a file so it won't throw the file not found exception because I want it to throw this exception. So let me see. To write a file within your project, you go to New and go to File and go to the project you're on and go to, actually just click that. Let's say numbers.txt. Make sure you add the .text or this will not work. It won't read as a text file. And then in here, I'm just going to put a couple numbers. Just more than 5 numbers is all you need. Save that. And when you look into your directory now, this should line up with the first level right underneath of the project. It shouldn't be within the source folder or anything like that. So now let's go to the driver class, and I believe these are from other videos. So now let's say string file name equals, what did I call it? Numbers.txt. And instead of creating a file and a scanner, I'm going to show you how to combine that. We're going to say scanner. No, I'm actually going to make a private static scanner variable type up here, and then I'll instantiate it in the main method. Private scanner, private static scanner, maybe. Static scanner input. Alright, very valid. And now let's say input, and we're going to assign it to a new scanner object. New scanner. And in the scanner parameters, it can take a file. So instead of having to create file, whatever you call it, equals new file, and then throw in some string, which would have been file name, we can make a shortcut and just instantiate a new file right here that takes in file name. That's the short way of doing it. Okay, so now here you go. You gotta handle this. So let's surround it with a try-catch and get rid of this. Let's get rid of both of these lines. To get rid of a line, just click the line you're on and you can say Control D. That'll get rid of everything on that line for you. Let's say for file not found exception, system.out.println could not find file, and we'll just say file name. Alright. Well, because of this text file has numbers in it, let's iterate through that file and assign each number in there to this array. So what we want to do is we need an index. So let's say int index equals 0, and we're going to iterate through this. Let's say while input dot has next, while it has another element in there. We're going to run this code, and we are going to say numbers, and we're going to have to put index in here because it starts at 0, and so numbers at place 0, place wouldn't be a good word, I'd say at index 0 equals input dot next int. Alright, and you're going to definitely need to increment that, or else you're going to keep assigning each number to array index 0. So what this is going to do is it's going to read this file of numbers, and every time it reads a new number, it's going to assign it to a place in here. So because you know that there are, I don't care how many there are, but there are 5 more than, or it fits 5 in there, and there's definitely more than 5. So it's going to throw an array index out of bounds exception, so we can catch it in here if we really want. Say array index out of bounds exception. I believe that's how it's spelled out. We'll just say AE for this one. We can catch this. Let's say system.out.println try to add too many numbers to array. Alright, so what the finally catch is if we opened up this input right here, and let's see what happens if I take the static off for a second. Okay, so we need the static for right now. I'm going to try to show you something, but let me try this. Okay, well that's weird. Usually there'll be a little yellow line under here saying that input was never closed. That was going to be my finally catch, but we can still do that. Let's just say finally and curly brackets, and we would have said input dot close. Initialize variable. Okay, so input equals null. So what I just did was I just pretty much moved the scanner down into here, so you don't have to have private or static. It's within the same method, and I didn't assign it down here scanner, because if I did that, then I'll just show you what happens if I did that. Down here it'll say that it can't find it. Okay, now what this does is it will run through the try catch, and it will try to create this scanner that reads the file, and it will iterate through each time adding numbers into the array. And it shouldn't throw this exception because I created the file, so it will find the file. But it will throw this array's index out of bounds exception, so it should print out tried to add too many numbers to array, and it will print that down here. And then it's always a good thing when anytime you have any IO to close the input or the output. So we closed it, but let's just make sure that it is getting to this finally clause, and let's system.println input closed. Okay, let's do this. See, it said try to add too many numbers to array, input closed. And that's basically what a finally catch is used for, is when it needs to execute some code regardless of if the code is caught or if it actually goes through. So that's what the finally catch is, and this, you can have multiple catch clauses. there's ways of putting multiple catch clauses in the parameter. It's a little harder to read sometimes, so I like to stack them on top of each other. So thank you all very much for watching, and please subscribe.